Recap, baseboards off, build the wall that is going to bump out, add studs at the flooring for the fireplace. All right, we started the drywall this week, and this drywall square was the best investment. I think it was $20. Get yourself one if you're doing drywall. It was the best tool. Drywall was more difficult than I thought in some ways and less difficult. Hanging the drywall, everybody told me would be the hardest part. And that for me was heavy, don't get me wrong, but the easier part. Mudding has been my challenge this whole time. And it is still my challenge. I'm still working on it. But let's get going hanging this drywall, and I'll kind of walk you through everything I did. This first big piece was just my main starting place. So I started screwing this one big piece in, and I probably went a little heavy on the screws because I was nervous. Again, I've never done drywall, so I was nervous. How many screws did it need? I didn't know. So I did use the drywall screws from Home Depot, and they seem to work great. Yep, I'm still putting those screws in, making sure it doesn't fall. Moving on to the side wall, I'm able to get these panels up a little bit easier and figure out that not so many screws are necessary. Thinking drywallers have a pretty good method for cutting these panels and knowing the sizes. I did not necessarily have a great understanding of that, kind of knowing like, okay, you can't have drywall just hanging there. It has to be in a stud. You can't, you have to cut it in the middle of the stud so that the other piece going on the other side needs to fit. Anyway, I think that there are probably better methods. I did not have them. These are the edge panels, so we're gonna cut those down to size and then put those on the edge of the wall so it's kind of a sturdy edge. One thing I have found with drywalling is it can be somewhat forgiving. So here I kind of had a gap at the edge, so I needed to fill it before I could put the edge on. So to put that edge band on, I'm using a heavy duty spray adhesive. It's what I saw in a video. It worked really well for me. It might not be the only way or the right way, but it worked really great for me. and I would suggest it if you're a first timer trying it out. My next step is to obviously add a layer of putty or drywall mix, whatever you call it, over the edge band so that it's all kind of smooth. Well, it's not smooth yet, but it will be smooth once I smooth it out. And I should say that this wall is going to be a veneer plaster. So for a first timer, that is probably pretty forgiving. So my wall doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, if your wall needs to be perfect, then you should probably find a different tutorial, because this is not meant to be a tutorial. I'm just kind of sharing how I did it. So all in all, I didn't mind drywalling. I am pretty sure if I did it a few more times, obviously practice makes, advancement, so I could get better at it. I don't know how many walls I'll be building, so I doubt that I'll get too much practice. But if you're building a small wall and don't want to pay a lot of money, then you could give it a go. The worst that happens is you have to take the drywall down, and that's not so bad. I hope you like this video and stay tuned for next week's video. I will be starting the veneer plaster and installing the cabinets for the built-ins on the side, and maybe finishing, probably not, but maybe. We'll see how it goes. And I'll walk you guys through and take you through my veneer plaster, or is it called veneer? Maybe it's not called veneer plaster. Anyway, I'll take you through that and you can kind of see how that goes for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.